Good evening, I'm Jackie Spade. The TLTB Land Trust Board is now going to the extremes, dismantling houses as they take drastic steps to ensure arrears are paid. The first to be taken down was a two-bedroom house in Lautoka. Christopher Chand with the details.
No one was home when this house was being dismantled in Vunato, Lautoka today. The TLTB says the tenant lives in Suva and had given this home out on rent. Arrears amount to over $2,000.
He was in arrears for the last 3 years, and we've given him the notice to pay up the arrears. But since was only partly paid, and after that he has forgotten his payment, but he has assured us to pay the full amount. There was nothing done. There was nothing done.
Terrified neighbors could only look on, hoping they won't be next. People living on TLTB land around the Western Division owe more than $5 million to the TLTB.
Usually we have given more time to the tenants to pay up after the court action, and it is a court's decision. And after the court's given its decision, then we come and dismantle their house.
According to the TLTB, this is their last resort, but it's also their way of showing people that they are serious in collecting arrears which are owed in the millions.
The money that is collected is for the landowners. We are not paying them their dues. Yeah. And we are treating that as a serious concern now of the board.
All this material, timber, corrugated iron and the works will be auctioned off to recover the owed amount. For others, the advice from the TLTB is pay up now to avoid a similar fate. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
All scrap metal trade in non-ferrous materials has been suspended. This includes copper, aluminium, nickel and other metals at the center of illegal sales around Fiji. Last night, FBC News exposed one alleged dealer, and authorities have stepped in saying it's now a matter of national security. Fusita Kote Wasawasa reports.
This is what prompted the Ministry of Trade to step in. Our news item last night carried footage of scrap metal allegedly stolen from public infrastructure being seized from a yard in Lautoka.
So the decision has been taken because of the deepening national crisis that has been caused by the continued illegal activity and theft of public infrastructure.
As of tonight, there can't be any sale of copper, aluminium, nickel copper, silver, tin, platinum and lead. Given the
Limited resources of each agency, we have agreed to come together and cooperate and ensure that this issue of national importance is addressed, and as much as possible illegal activity under the in trade in scrap metal is curbed.
Ali says scrap metal trades have cost the country millions of dollars in disruption to essential services. The scrap metal decree carries a fine of $10,000 or 5 years jail time for culprits. Wasita Kote Wasawasa, FBC News.
There are more revelations on the nature of work carried out by consultant lawyer Ratuchoni Mandraiwiwi for the Constitution Commission. According to the terms of reference of the contract, Ratuchoni was required to develop background papers as requested by the chairman of the commission, Professor Yash Gai. Edwin Nand has the details.
The two-page terms of reference referred to Ratuchoni's appointment as one of local expert opinion. Ratuchoni was required to engage with the commissioners at the Constitution Commission to discuss the background paper and the components of the draft constitution. He was also required to engage with public seminars organized by the Commission. These seminars covered areas such as transition to democratic civilian rule, electoral reforms, freedom of information, land and TLTB issues, and peer review of the draft constitution. A fourth requirement was to provide other information relevant to issues pertaining to the draft constitution, which is due next month. In the 30-day contract, an allowance of $500 per day was to be paid upon completion of the deliverables. Ratu Choni's appointment and impartiality of the Constitution Commission was questioned by the Prime Minister after the Mbao chief was part of a delegation that called for Fiji to be declared a Christian state. Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama pointed out that this is in direct contravention of provisions of the decree that stipulates Commission staff and consultants must observe non-negotiable principles and be politically neutral. Ratu Choni's appointment has been defended by Commission Chair Professor Yashgai. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
Concerns have emerged from Airports Fiji Limited regarding people shooting laser lights onto landing aircraft. As Shireen Lata finds out, there have been 4 such reports from Nausori and 1 from Nasoso in Nandi.
Airports Fiji Limited has received complaints from the pilots that laser lights in the vicinity of Nausori Airport are deliberately aimed at them while landing.
They mentioned that people have been shooting laser guns into the cockpit. Could be mischief, and it could be a case of them not knowing that this can potentially cause a great disaster.
Liu believes this could be mostly children from the surrounding villages near the airports.
It could be just somebody who have just purchased this laser gun and decides to shoot at not just planes or pilots, but they probably use it to shoot at animals or birds or something to scare away.
He says it's dangerous and may lead to the blinding of the aircrew, which may result in a disastrous accident.
At this point in time, these are just people with ignorance, who are doing all these things. So I hope the public can be educated in this.
The Fiji Police Force has also sent out a stern warning to the public that those caught shooting laser lights will face the consequences. Shireen Lata, FBC News.